So if the enlightened mind heart is unfolding, and there is no endpoint, so to speak,
Yeah.
Will you reflect a little bit on the return to the marketplace?
Yeah. One of the things that I like about the evolutionary view of enlightenment is that, in a certain sense, only half of spirit's evolving, and the other half is not. I mean, emptiness is still emptiness in that sense. And that's why when people have profound Kensho, Satori experiences, there is that sense of isness and alwaysness. And not only it always will be, it always has been. I've always known this fundamental. It's the only thing I've been aware of all the time. But these forms keep changing. And so in the Tenzen ox-herding pictures, the last one is returning to the market with open hands, or sometimes helping hands, it can be interpreted. And to me, that's where the evolutionary view helps a lot, because it's the marketplace is the world of unfolding form. It's still unfolding within Big Mind. So there's still, in a sense, that absolute peacefulness and that comes from freedom from all phenomena. But the fullness side of the street keeps changing. And so it's that constant paradox, in a sense, that you're radical free, there are no others to save, therefore you vow to save them all. And entering the marketplace in that sense is that, I think, that wonderful paradox of no need to do it, therefore I must really do it. And what I like in terms of the evolutionary view is it adds a little bit of understanding that it's even a more fun, difficult, wonderful, already accomplished, insane project because the marketplace is evolving. And that's what's so great. That's why it's like an endless education at that point. You know, if that sucker just held still, it'd be a pretty static view of enlightenment, wouldn't it? I mean, because both of them would not change, so to speak. And then that's sort of like, wow, you know. But boy, the samsara is unfolding at a terrifying rate. And that's what's so wild about it. And you know, the four quadrants and all that, that's samsara. That's a map of samsara. Okay? We sometimes say the paper on which the four quadrants are written is sort of ever-present. But ever-present is your own awareness. And then quadrants, levels, lines, all that is arising within your awareness. So it's the four quadrants are a map of samsara. It's just if you're in prison, it's really good to have a map of the prison. And the better the map, the better it is. And then the paradoxical thing is the prison is where you go back in with open hands. I mean, it's completely paradoxically insane. That's the wonderful, outrageous thing about it. That it's already accomplished, and therefore you have a lot of work to do. You can never attain it, and therefore you better really start working to attain it. You know, it's that kind of stuff. And then, you know, the Taoists are good at those paradoxes. You know, you're going to strangle those Chinese with your hands. But it's sort of, but it's true. I mean, it really is. That's the wonderful part about it. But there's also incredibly important truths on both sides of those equations. There's something in you that is absolutely already fully liberated. And there's something in you that really needs to communicate that and embody that and carry that into the marketplace, these kinds of open hands. And what we think the integral approach helps with is nothing can affect emptiness. There's any number of practices can help you recognize it, or confess it, or stop pretending to avoid it. But the integral map in particular helps, and then, like I say, it's a better picture of the manifest world and all of the things that you really need to let your ever-present I amness saturate the world with. And the more you can do that, the more phenomena drip with your own I amness, then the more they'll start to sparkle, just what you're talking about, too. Oh, without your presence. And that's where you particularly have to pay attention, because you trip. But that is part of the fun.